Hello, I'm Adam Hardy, and in this very short talk I would like to give you a glimpse of the role of architectural drawings in the creation of temple architecture in medieval India. My subject is the great unfinished temple at Bhojpur, 28 kilometers south of Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. Its patron was the famous King Bhoja, the Parmara ruler who ruled from around 1010 to 1055 CE. Bhoja is remembered as an ideal king, a scholar as well as a warrior who tried to assemble at his court all the branches of human knowledge, and many literary works are ascribed to him. The unfinished temple sits on a rocky site overlooking a fertile plain, and we can still see the remains of the earthen ramp once used for heaving up the heavy stones as the temple was being built. The rocky site served as the quarry for the temple, and we can still see many huge scale carved pieces of stone scattered around. The fertile plain was once a vast artificial lake, conceived together with the temple by Bhoja for the irrigation of the region. Near the temple are parts of the system of dams made out of huge blocks of masonry. The first part of the 11th century saw the appearance in some parts of India of unprecedentedly big royal temples, biggest of all Rajaraja Chola's Brihadishvara temple at Tanjavur, dedicated around the year 1000. Temple architects in Malwa, central India, were also doing something unprecedented around this time. They were inventing a new temple form, which is known as the Bhumija. The example here is the beautiful Udayeshvara temple at Udaipur of around 1080. At this time, Bhoja was assembling a great architectural text known as the Samarāṅgaṇasūtradhāra, which treats different traditions of temple architecture from different regions, north and south. The Bhumija form looms large in that treatise, and we can see how the architects are consciously showing awareness of northern and southern traditions in the creation of that new form. The Bhojpur temple, as it stands today, is a massive cube of masonry, with a great doorway dominating the western facade. In front is a platform which seems to have been built a little after Bhoja's time. Inside the temple is a huge Shiva Linga, sitting in a central bay defined by 4 12-meter high pillars. The ceiling has recently been restored by the Archaeological Survey of India. As well as being the quarry, the site was also the drawing board for the temple. It contains on its slopes a unique and beautiful set of architectural drawings. Some of these are sketchy and experimental. Others show architectural principles, like this one on the right, which gives you the proportional framework for a Bhumija temple. It's schematically drawn. It's conceptually like the verbal descriptions in a Vastu Shastra text. Other drawings, as we shall see presently, are one-to-one details for the temple itself. A few years ago, with the help of colleagues and students, I was able to document these drawings, sketch them, measure them, and redraw them. It's not obvious at first because it's 12 meters long and a bit worn out, but this drawing is a full-size detail of one of the 4 interior pillars, and this one for the corner pilasters. Drawings like these would be used as a reference for extracting the required block sizes from the quarry, and also for making templates, probably of wood, to guide the carving of moldings. And this one is for the blind balconies on the exterior walls of the temple. Notice that there are details of elevation on the drawing as well as the sectional profile. This one, confusing at first because it's all overlapping, gives us details for a bracket, the base mouldings on the facade, and the door sill. And when we extract the overlapping bits, double it up, lo and behold, we have the complete full-size plan of the main facade. So we have drawings of all these bits of the temple as we see it today. Could it be that there are drawings of parts of the temple that were never built? Yes, there are. This beautiful drawing is of the base mouldings for the pita or sub-base and the bottom of the vedibandha. If we compare this with the pieces of carved stone around the site, drawn to the same scale, they are indeed the same size. This is the base of the Udayeshvara temple for comparison. Here we compare the base mouldings of the Bhija mandal at Vidisha, founded by Bhoja's successor, and the only temple that approaches Bhojpur in its huge scale. The plan of the Bhija mandal is like this. It was never finished, and it's pretty clear that it would have been like this, a four-faced or chaturmukh temple plan. Bear that in mind when we look at this part plan at the Bhojpur site. It's pretty big, it's about 15 meters across. Let's multiply it up and see what we get. Let's add the plan of the temple as it stands today to the same scale, and it fits exactly. We see that it was meant to be the Garbhagriha, surrounded by a huge ambulatory in the middle of a four-faced temple. And there's even a grid that integrates the whole plan. Moving from the plan to the elevation, we can draw the pita from that full-size mouldings drawing. We can draw the existing temple as the Garbhagriha, the vedibandha and the first bhumi, and proportions dictate that because there are 7 projections, saptarata, it will be saptabhumi, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, vedi and kanta, and there you have the biggest temple in India, about 100 meters high. It makes the Brihadishvara look quite small. Thank you for listening. All we have to do now is to sit back and imagine the temple in its landscape. If completed, the shikara of the temple at Bhojpur would have ranked as the centuries past with the loftiest monuments the world over. Mirrored in its lake, doubled up like an expanding Shivalinga, this would have been the architectural, religious and political pinnacle of Bhoja's ambitious cultural project. But of course the temple was never finished. We don't know why. Maybe it was just too ambitious. Yet its secrets and its potential have lain for 1,000 years on the surrounding rocks.